You know, guys, I want to be clear with what I think about the Montreal Canadiens here, and they are a team that honestly is right on the precipice of being a cup contender, in my opinion. And that's why I've been advocating all season for them going all in. Going all in and saying, hey, listen, we have a chance here to win a cup. Honestly, the years go by a lot quicker than you might think. But with saying that, what I meant was if you can get a young piece in your organization that can stay around for a long time, I have no problem with being aggressive in that circumstance. But these latest opinions and trade rumors coming out, I kind of disagree with, in my opinion. We're going to be talking about all that and more in this video, but welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you can make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated, and thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is very humbling. And then we talk about Nazem the Dream Kadri, which, listen, he would be an upgrade on this team. Nazem Kadri can still play, and he never really relied on his speed too much. He was always kind of like a playmaker. He doesn't really have like a burner of a shot at all, but he just consistently makes plays and he consistently puts up points. This would be an upgrade. But the question is like, do you give up a lot for an older player like that? Like, I would be willing for the Habs to acquire him, but not with a young piece. And then this is what gives me pause. Like, I wouldn't give, if I was the Habs, from the Habs perspective, like, I wouldn't give up Alexander Zborowski. But if I was the Flames, I would certainly be asking for that. Question of the video: would you be willing to give up a young piece for this player? This is really, really interesting to me because I don't think that I would be. And this recent trade discussion this is why it's so interesting to me. And this is why we have insider Gilbert Delorme talking about what they would have to give up potentially for Nazem Kadri. Quote, they're going to have to ask for David Reinbacher. They'll definitely ask for that, close quote. Now, I've been a little bit skeptical of Reinbacher. He's had a bit of an injury history, but I don't even know if I would be willing to do that. I just don't see that as something the Canadiens should do because Reinbacher still does have a lot of potential. He's a right-hand shot defenseman with size. He was they spent a lot of draft capital on him. He was a 5th overall selection, and it's kind of like, is that something that you're actually going to want to give up? Boy, oh boy, I don't think so. Drop it in the comments. What do you think about that one? To be fair, Nazem Kadri does have 3 more seasons at $7 million, but again, you're getting him from his age 35 season to his age 38 season. So the question is what is that going to look like? Then over the next, let's say 10 or even 15 years, however good Reinbacher turns out to be, it's like you could be giving up a major blue liner like that that's young and really good for maybe 3 years of Nazem Kadri. And perhaps only one of those years or 1 or 2 of those years would actually be a good quality center as well. So that is just way too much of a worry for me. Since Reinbacher has come back from injury, he has 4 games in the American Hockey League and 2 assists. It's weird, when we look at David Reinbacher, we haven't really seen him obviously play that much in the AHL. I mean, it's just not a lot of runway. He generally does perform at about, a 40 point in 80 game AHL pace, which is actually quite good. Defense shoots right, 6'3". I mean, listen, man, I'm excited to see what this player can do in the American Hockey League and then honestly get called up to the NHL. Let's not forget that the Montreal Canadiens are having an excellent start to this season. I mean, they're just really, really good. And when you have an excellent start, you can be afforded the opportunity to be patient. Now, I'm not really sure if they're going to win the Atlantic Division, but they're literally 15 games played, 22 points. Like, that's legit, dude. I mean, and again, let's be clear, they have the most goals scored in the Atlantic Division, only second to the Toronto Maple Leafs, who cannot play defense to save their lives. It's crazy. The Canadiens have actually been quite a bit better defensively than the Maple Leafs. They've actually been better defensively than I thought that they would, unless, at least overall ball and add in goals. So my question is if you're top of the Atlantic Division, why not just be patient? You know, at this point, I want them to be aggressive to maybe acquire a young center, but honestly, man, they're top in the Atlantic looking down at everybody else, and they're one of the only teams that is separating themselves from the pack, and I'm just saying from the Habs perspective, I would just be patient if I was them. Also, to shift gears a little bit, I did want to talk about Jakub Dobes, and obviously he lost to the Devils while the Canadiens lost to the Devils. Not only Jakub Dobes, his interview after was actually incredibly emotional. It was crazy how hard Dobes was taking that. Now, a couple of things. I just wanted to touch on this really quickly. It happened, a little bit ago, 2 games ago, but listen, you have to be patient with a young goalie. The guy is 24 years old. You can't be too hard on yourself. And here's the one thing. It's good and fans like to see it that a goalie cares, right? So when you see a goalie getting emotional like that, especially with how emotionally invested Habs fans can be in their team, it's actually really, really refreshing, right? We're used to seeing players that almost seem like emotionless millionaires. Do you understand what I mean with that? Do you understand what I mean? It's kind of like, we want these guys to feel like they actually care as much as we do, right? That would be the issue here. And I understand that point of view, and I totally get the people that are saying that. He kind of reminds me of Jack Campbell here. Do you guys remember Campbell? He played for the Leafs and the Oilers. He used to get so emotional after wins. You can't let the game weigh on you that much. So he needs to chill a little bit on that stuff. I mean, let's be clear. The guy has 7 games played, 2.25 goals against, 920 save percentage. His team is leading the Atlantic Division. I mean, they're set up in a great spot. So I don't think he needs to feel that bad, although I'm sure every goalie has some pucks that they, might want to stop, if you understand what I mean. I mean, when you're 6-2-2 in your last 10 games or about that, it's just, you just gotta chill. Maybe just, relax. Hopefully the management talked to him. I'm pretty sure that they did. I mean, obviously this is a very promising goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, a 5th-round pick being this good is excellent. Even in his 23 games played, 912 save percent average. I mean, I think the Montreal Canadiens have a genuinely good goalie here. I just wanted to touch on that. It was a really emotional interview. I watched it and I was like, wow, he really seems like he cares a lot. But hopefully this doesn't weigh on him too much, if you understand what I mean. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to leave this video here. If you can make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.